She's down under, but she's on top of the world, and she won't stop. Flying free, no looking back, turning every crack into a map. Hello, beautiful. Welcome to Likha Love Podcast. Today's guest is someone I've known for over a decade. We met in Alabama through photography. Patrick Laney is a country gospel, rock, and blues singer-songwriter from Alabama, USA, and I consider him as someone who is my spiritual soul brother. Today we will be talking about music, faith, and the journey of becoming who you're called to be. Hi, everybody. This is Patrick Laney. Welcome, Patrick Laney. Thank you for being on the show today.
Hey. Glad to be here. How are you?
So Patrick and I'm good. I am so excited that you are on the show today. And, we've been friends for over a decade now. We've met through photography. In Alabama, when I lived in Alabama, we have known each other for so long. Pretty much the whole time I've lived there. I kind of knew you, but not until after 2010 when I started my business. That's when we really connected and started doing gigs together, doing weddings together. It's been quite a journey for the both of us with photography.
That's right. You gave me an opportunity, a country boy with a camera. You gave me an opportunity to go help you with a wedding, and I was like, okay. Here we go.
Yeah, we've done a lot together.
That's right. Photo shoots, fun photo shoots, and weddings.
Yes.
And all the good food at the receptions. I love it.
That is the one thing that I did love. The one thing I did love about just the wedding industry in general is just the good vibes. It's always good vibes when you're there. It's exciting because it's a wedding day and everybody's just happy. Everybody's excited for the bride and groom. And so you kind of, we kind of get sucked into that energy as well, which helps us get through a long day is by, all the exciting things that's happening there. It's just, anyway, as much as I loved it at that time, I probably don't want to do it again.
That's right.
It was a lot of hard work.
It was. It can be stressful, and then you end up doing it so much. Sometimes it just becomes like, well, it's another day at the office, But yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to get it right.
Yes, it's a lot of work. You're on your feet the whole day, and as much as I loved, the vibes and the creative aspect of photography, it was a lot on my body. I know that.
That's right. Absolutely. And, it was a great learning experience, a great time. And, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of work, but I enjoyed it. And then I eventually started getting some of my own weddings to do, which was amazing. And I'm like, oh, wow, I finally have my own wedding. I'm not just a second photographer, and it felt good, to be honest, it did. And but I enjoyed every experience. Really did.
Yeah. So what could you tell me about during that season of your life? What was it like for you, figuring out, how to start the photography business and just your life in general?
Well, I picked up a camera, probably 2012, 2011, and I really enjoyed it. It was just a little Sony Sure Shot, enjoyed taking pictures of flowers and all that kind of thing. And then had some folks say, hey, you're really good at this, and, of course. So anyways, I worked at Home Depot at the time, and I decided, one of my supervisors there was telling me about a wedding that he had done or was in, one of his relatives, and they're like, yeah, man, they're paying the wedding photographer $1,500. And then I was like, that's what I'm going to do right there. That seriously. And it made me make my decision. And working at Home Depot, if I can say that, they didn't pay you a whole lot of money at the time to work for them. But so what I did to start my business, I went and got a job at Pizza Hut here in town. As a second job, I worked 40 hours a week at Home Depot, and then I worked 24 hours a week at Pizza Hut in the evenings to earn money to
Oh my
specific
gosh.
for my photography gear. That's how much I wanted it.
Wow.
But that's how I did it, because I didn't make enough of my regular job to pay bills plus do that. So I had to, okay, you want this? This is what you got to do. You know, nobody's going to hand it to you. And so that's what I did. And then I went and borrowed, I remember I borrowed $3,000 to buy my first Nikon camera. And I thought, I'm out of my mind. I'm holding a little thing that costs $3,000. Just more than some people's used car.
Yeah.
It don't even have a lens, and it was $3,000. And, but I was like, you know what? I got this. I did it. I took a step. I did it. And then, and the way I learned how to, I drove my family crazy wanting to take pictures all the time. They're like, no more. You drive me crazy. I was obsessed with it. And then so I took my son's stuffed animals outside because they didn't move or talk back. And practice the truth. That's the honest to God's truth. That's how I learned. Didn't know what I was doing, but it's just every day relentless. And
Oh yeah.
you know, and it grew from there. And then when I worked at Home Depot at night, worked third shift. And I would watch nothing but photography videos on every lunch break. I didn't talk to nobody. My lunch break, my break, I would always watch a tutorial on photography and weddings and all that. And I just eat, breathe, and sleep it. And
Yeah.
and that's what I did. And then if you keep up with it, then you eventually meet people. I met you. You meet other photographers. You meet people along the way. You make connections. You make you know, it's a journey.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, you like, oh, I'm here, you know, and there you go, you know, and then, you know, it's rock and rolling. But I think I was pretty successful at it. I never made enough money to be full time at it like I wanted to, but you know, it's okay. I still did a lot of stuff, did a lot of cool stuff, and you know, I know you were in some extras in some movies. I was able to be in as an extra in Run the Race in the Tim Tebow movie, you know, the
Yeah.
photographer, you know, and which was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. We
I
filmed that.
really think the
Go ahead.
photography industry has given us a lot of opportunities to be in a lot of things. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for photography, I wouldn't have been able to experience like being backstage in concerts, you know, being able to travel to see just places even like in the area that you wouldn't even know existed, like in
Right.
Alabama where we lived in Coleman, you know. I remember like being a part of a gala that was at somebody's house that was huge, and you're just like, this exists in Coleman, Alabama.
That's
And you
right.
know, being a photographer, I really got to see a lot of things. So, you know, the experience for me was very good as far as just being able to live a little even though you're working.
Right. And it was a lot of fun, you know. Everybody at the weddings, you know, they're dressed up like movie stars, you know. I
Yeah,
always
yeah.
everybody's dressed up, you know, and ready to have you know, forget their troubles for a while and get out on the dance floor. And I would, there's so many times I would be right in the middle. I mean, right in the middle of everybody dancing with my camera, you know, just enjoying it. You see it.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. We've done a lot of weddings together, and
Yeah.
and you know, sometimes I wish we could have just dropped the camera and just joined them on the dance floor, but we're there to capture them having fun. So, but we still have a little fun while we're there. Sometimes
Right.
we're dancing with our cameras in our hands. It was a
Yeah.
good experience. It was good times. It really was. And
Right. That's
I I really, I'm so thankful for the opportunities that, photography, has given me personally.
right.
And, meeting you through that, and we've
That's right.
become good friends through photography.
That's
And
right. That's right. And my last wedding was in October at Cotton Creek here in town. I helped another photographer out, and that's, just in October. So, and then I don't plan on doing it anymore.
yeah, it's time
Just
for a
just
new chapter.
transition. Yeah, yeah. New chapter. That's right.
New
'Cause-
chapter.
yeah.
Yeah, so, you are a singer-songwriter. You're so good at what you do. And I know now that photography is behind you, you are stepping into a new role and focusing on your music. And that's so exciting. And I'm so proud of you for, you know, pursuing what is something that you were called to do. And I know your story, but I would love for you to share with everybody, when was it when you knew that moment that you had when you knew that you were supposed to be pursuing music?
Well, like, do you want me to go back to when I was a kid? Tell that story?
Yes,
Okay.
yes, you
So,
have to tell that story.
okay. So when I was, like we were, this, but, when I was, I say around 5 years old, I was in the house, by myself, laying on the couch, no one was in there. And of course, my dad, he's always played music, had guitars, and it was his acoustic guitar, that was in the bedroom, and no one was in the house. And I just heard the guitar strings just strum lightly, and I couldn't figure it out. I mean, I'm 5 years old. I'm like, who's playing? No one, no one's in the house. It's quiet. Everyone was outside doing something. But anyways, and I would hear that. And then as I got older, I looked at that and I was like, that is, I think that was an angel or something telling me, hey, this is what you need to be doing in life, or what you're going to be doing. It's going to be a part of your life, is music. And that really happened, it really happened. And so
And it gives me chills when you say that story.
yeah,
And I've heard it, I think, 3 times now. But it gives me chills because it's just amazing, how God speaks to you in different ways. And that was him telling you, hey,
that's
this is
right.
in your future.
Yeah,
You need to be focusing on music. This is going to be something that you're going to be sharing with the world. This is your talent. This is your skill. And, whatever skill, desire, passion that God gives us, it's no coincidence.
that's right.
We're not just given an idea, a skill, a talent for nothing to do nothing with. It's there, for a reason, and we are supposed to be using that skill, that talent. However, however God wants us to do it, that's what we have to figure out. Like, okay, I know I'm supposed to do music. Now, what's the next steps? That's our job to figure out how we're going to put that out there into the world, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And as I got older, I played, the acoustic guitar all the time. And as I got older, I joined, went to church, obviously, and joined, me and some friends of mine. We created a contemporary Christian band called Open Heart, which I have a lot
Really?
of steps now. Yeah, absolutely. Open Heart. And we were, I don't know if you've ever heard of David and the Giants. But they were a big, popular contemporary Christian group from Mississippi. They come to our church here in town, Agape Church, just not too far from here. That church is no longer there, but I befriended them and with our band, And we went to Jackson, Mississippi. We got to go backstage a lot and meet all the contemporary Christian artists at that time. And I got to ride their bus when I was just, 17, 18 years old, and talk to him about things like, my testimony and things like that. And you just knew, those little things, that carry you along the way. And we played for a while. The band, unfortunately, eventually we all went separate ways as we got older. But it was a good experience. And then I decided, well, hey, I'm going to be a solo artist. Mm-hmm. And I joined, a little gospel band around here and things like that. And I eventually just left and just did my own thing, wrote my own music for years. And of course, I write, gospel, and I write country as well. You just write a lot of different music, but my music that I started writing is just happy, good, upbeat feeling music, and music that's real. Like I've got one song that I'm going to be redoing. It's called, "Oh Lord, I've been down, thinking about my yesterdays, walking around in a haze. Lord, I need your touch. Because you know what I'm going through, and I know you're going to get me through." And that's just part of the verse. That's an old song I wrote many years ago. Just stuff like that. And then I've got one song that I'm so proud of. My dad always says, "Hey, Patrick, you've got to get this song out. It's going to be a hit. It's called Your Love Will Never Change." And the words are like sunshine in the morning, like after a spring rain. Oh God, your love is amazing. Oh, it always stays the same. Like the birth of a newborn baby. Oh God, your love is brand new. God, your love is amazing. Your love will never change. That's the verse. And then the chorus, your love will never change. Oh, it always stays the same. Day after day, you're where my heart will always stay. And oh, you always draw so close. Lord, when I need you most, oh, your love will never change. I wrote that so many years ago. It was like a God just come down and give it. It's like a download, as you call it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I listen to that song. I've got it recorded. I'm going to redo it. That song will move you. And I didn't know it at the time, but now I do. The way I believe now, in terms of manifesting and God's love, pure energy. God's love, real God's love don't change. But anyways, yeah, that's some of the things I wrote when I was younger, and that you just get downloads because you're so tuned to what you're doing.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to hear all that. You need to maybe share a little bit of maybe that one, the one that you're talking about right now. Maybe you should share a little bit of that before we sign off today, because I think that your music, I've already heard a few of it, but I think the world deserves to hear it all. God doesn't give you these downloads for no reason.
Right. And it's amazing, But yeah, I'll do that before we go, and today I'll play a little bit of that for sure.
Yay! Okay, I can't wait to hear it. I know it's going to be good. And actually, I wanted to share the intro of my podcast song is actually written by Patrick Laney. You guys only hear a little snippet of part of the chorus, but it's an actual full song. And I remember when he wrote it and he sent it to me, I just remember probably the first 3 days of listening to it, every time I turned that song on, I was just crying and bawling because he perfectly wrote what was going on in my life at that moment. And even still now, it's kind of become like a life song. It's my story, the story of my journey. And he captured it so perfectly. And yeah, I just remember crying a lot when I heard it, and I really appreciate you, Patrick, for that song and sharing it with me and letting me use it.
You're so welcome.
It's so special to me, and my girls love it. We sing and dance to it, and I can't wait to release that full song for everyone to hear, because it's such a good song, and I'm really just so grateful and feel so lucky that you're my friend and that you wrote that for me.
You're so welcome. Absolutely. Yeah. I was, you know, in the summer, what happened was, um, I was out, driving, and the idea just hit me. I'm down under, but I'm on top. And, she's down under, but on top of the world,
Yeah.
being in Australia. And I thought, okay, this is going to be great. And then I just started putting things together. And of course, it took me, I guess, a week, because I was like, so just into this song, because, I actually, there's probably about 15 versions of this song that I had to keep editing down and getting the music. And we need, change this, change that, and change the lyrics. I edited the lyrics so much till I finally got it right, because I'd listen to the song, edit the lyrics, no, change this, change that. And it took me about a week, I guess. And it was just like, it's one of those things where, I don't know, when you get moved by something or someone's story or someone's life, and see the struggles they've been through, and now they're triumphant, and you just see all that and you get moved by it. And you're just like me, I'm very empathetic. I've always been that way. I get that from my mother. You just feel things. In music, you feel things. And then all of a sudden you just like, it just starts. And then you're like, oh, this is good. Oh, this is real good. And then I'm like, okay, I finally got the final edited version. I'm like, I said, okay, I'm going to send this to her. I'm going to send it. And,
And
I'm
it's
like,
absolutely perfect. It's amazing. It's seriously so good. So
well,
good.
I'm glad. And hey, if it touches your life, motivates you, moves you, then it done its job.
It really
I like,
encouraged me, especially, you know, it's so hard to find friendships that are good for you,
mm-hmm.
and I truly believe, you are my soul brother, and for you to write that to encourage me and inspire me to keep going, because my journey has been, it hasn't been easy, and for good reason, because I wouldn't be who I am today if I didn't go through what I went through.
Mm-hmm.
And that song, just really puts together my journey and really inspires me and encourages me to keep going, that I know it was like a sign from God
Yeah.
saying, you
Yeah.
are doing the right thing. Like, keep going. Keep
Oh, yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Don't give
Yeah.
up now. There's, you're on the right path. And that
Yeah.
song was just like a confirmation. I'm like, okay, God, thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And no doubt in my mind. And I think a lot of people are that way. I mean, when you like, as an artist, and when you get inspired, whether it's a painting, and I've seen your paintings, they're very beautiful, they're very amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And when you see those and you get inspired, you have to go with it. You have to go with it. It's like it has to get out of your spirit. It has to get out. You know what I mean? It has to get out of you in some way. Music, play a guitar, write a song, make a painting, whatever you do in life, whatever someone does, that they're artistic with, poems, whatever a person does, that's their way of expressing themselves in a positive
Mm-hmm.
way, you know, and that's what you have to do. And then all of a sudden you do that and you're like, okay, done, next chapter.
Yeah. And yeah, it really shows like the journey that we've been on with like photography, like every creative thing that we're pursuing, it takes us, I think they're character builders, like God gives you this desire, you act on it, and then you receive all these blessings from acting on these creative outlets. You know, being able to express ourselves through these creative outlets, it like brings out parts of ourselves that we didn't know is a part of us, right?
Right.
Like every time we do this, we pursue this form of art, you know, God's showing us a part of us that we didn't know existed, and it's
Right.
slowly building us and shaping us
Yeah.
into this person that is going to be able to fully express themselves completely, you know, as God's, I don't know. I don't know if
I
I'm
know,
saying it right.
I know what you're saying. Yeah. You just got to let that out. You know, it's just like a download from heaven, you know. And in songwriting, you know, I like music that takes me on a journey, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's days that you feel sad. There's days that you're just on top of the world. I mean, that's real. You know, I don't think you should deny that. Hey, some days I don't have it together. I'm emotional today or whatever, and I need to hear a song that just it makes me want to cry almost and
Mm.
get over it, you know, and move on. You know, it's hard to explain, but as a musician, you know, you experience that a lot, you know. But I want to go on a journey, you know,
Mm.
and that's part of music, you know. And as an artist, as a painter, you know, you let those emotions, you know, out.
It's a
And
release. It's a
yeah,
release, and you have to release emotions or they will get stuck into your body.
yeah,
And I know that from experience. You know, last year I started doing a lot of movement and dance classes in a way to release all the stuck emotions that are in my body, and not expressing, not releasing those emotions is what causes illness. It's what causes, you know, pain in your body. Like they need
right,
to be released. Otherwise, you're internally or physically suffering because
right.
it's just sitting there.
That's right. That's right.
When it comes to, you know, now that you're on this journey of focusing on your music and stepping into, you know, that life, what are some things that scare you, but you know you're going to overcome? But what are some things that, you know, the challenges that come with this journey?
Well, you know, as I get older, you know, I just I want to share my music, you know, with the world via TikTok or, you know, social media, that kind of thing at this point. And I hope someone enjoys it and has fun with it, whether it's a love song, whether it's a good Christian positive song, and they get something out of it. But and then you never know. And I do know from experience that you don't know what door will open for you. Like, I don't feel like I have to, like in the day, you know, oh man, you got to pay your dues. I think so. I think that's true. You do have to pay your dues, but you know, I don't think I have to. I'm not the kind of guy that's going to go every Friday, Saturday, Sunday and go to a bar or a club and sing my music, or even a church every single weekend and do all that. I don't, that's at this point in my life, that's not me. I'm too busy for that.
Mm-hmm.
However, you know, because I work a full-time job, you know, and you got family and everything, but I am open to whatever doors open for me as I do what I know to do. And, and I'm going to have fun with it. No worries. Just sing my music and see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that answered your question, you know, and because these days I just, I want to enjoy every day, whether,
Yeah.
no matter what I'm doing, whether it's playing a guitar, riding my four-wheeler, riding the Sea-Doo, whether it's hiking, visiting my parents, playing with my son. I just want to enjoy it every day, and I do want to travel the world. I want to travel the world. I want to go see places I've never seen before and just enjoy every single day. And I dream of going somewhere warm, sitting in the sand with my feet in the sand,
Mm-hmm.
hearing the waves go by, closing my eyes, and just being there. Just take in the moment, just appreciate being there. And because that's just kind of where I'm at. And I want to have, positive people in my life. I don't need everybody in my life, but I need, positive. I like being around positive people, happy people, people I can count on, people I can trust,
Mm-hmm.
and people that love me, and I love them. There's a lot of people in this world, that only maybe want to be your friend or like you or be around you for what you can give them.
Mm-hmm.
They're not true. I know I'm down a rabbit trail here, but that's just kind of where I'm at.
I
Just
understand. Oh, yeah. Once I started really seeing life for what it is, I started to see the people who were only around me for some, to take. And
Mm,
and those are the kind of people that when I had a people pleasing, problem, I would give them all my energy just to keep them happy while I was, miserable, trying to
mhm.
keep them happy and just giving them all my energy. And when I realized that, that I deserve better, like, and that I needed to focus on myself, I started to, those people who were energy vampires, they started falling away. And I
Mhm.
started attracting more people that were aligned with who I was after I got rid of my people pleasing problem.
Right.
I started attracting more people that also exchange the equal amount of energy and that inspire me, that encourage me, and those are the only people I want in my life. And like you are one of them, you're encouraging me all the time and hyping me up. And
Yeah. Likewise.
that's the kind of friendships that I need in my life. Like I don't want anybody anymore in my life that all they do is take and take and take. We've both grown a lot spiritually, and we've both starting to see what life is all about, what life really is all about. And
Right.
it is so important to be very picky with what company you keep around you.
That's right.
And, it took me a long time to realize that the people who I kept around me, they affect you in so many ways. And it's not just influencing your mindset, but, you're exchanging energies. And sometimes
Right.
you don't realize you're picking up on how they're feeling and you think it's you, but it's actually their energy you're feeling and it's affecting you. And it's just, yeah, it's so important to be so picky with who is around you and who you keep company.
One of the things that has changed for me in the last year, 2 years actually, is I lost my grandmother this April of this year. April 7th of this year will be 2 years. She was 97,
Mm-hmm.
and she lived a long, happy life. But we were a close family. I mean, everything I've ever known, growing up in that with my grandmother, just real close to where we lived. And then my uncle, my dad's brother, he passed away suddenly. This February will be a year. And that
Mm-hmm.
changed me. It just so much, because you're starting to realize, oh my gosh, just life, just everything you know, you just, oh gosh, I felt so alone, even though it was my uncle, it was my grandmother, you know, and because so many dynamics changed, you know, my grandmother's house is for sale now. My
Oh.
uncle and aunt, their house, they sold it, and she moved to where her daughters are, my aunt. But the point I'm making is, it changed my entire outlook on everything. To have people I love that close to me, lose them in that short a time frame. Even though, my grandmother lived an amazing life, happy life, never was really sick or anything like that. Great life. And she ascended, and
Mm-hmm.
it just got me thinking, what's important in life. Don't sweat the small stuff. Be happy, because, I'll say this is, and I was thinking about this the other day, is why do we as humans hold on to our memories and hold on to our past so much? And I'm talking good things here, and I'm talking about the good memories here. You're like, you reminisce, you think, oh man, I remember when grandmother made this, or I remember when my uncle did that, good things. But I got to thinking, life is a journey. And that was a moment in time in my life that they were there, but life goes on. You start a new journey, a new chapter. You can't get stuck in the old days. You reminisce a little bit. For me, I have to reminisce about it a little bit. And my grandmother and other people in my life molded me into who I am today, ultimately. Good, influences on me, things like that. But you can't get stuck in the past, because you have now. Now is what you have. You have now, this moment, this second. You got to make the
That's
best.
all we have.
Tell the people you love that's it. So, anyways, that's all I wanted to say about that. And I'm good with it. I'm good with it now. It's like, you know what? I'm going to continue, this amazing journey of life, write new chapters in my life, new incredible opportunities. That was a moment in time in my life that was good, but now I have to write new chapters, and new, if you will. I don't know if I made sense, but anyways.
No, yeah, you're right. It really shapes it. It really that was a good part of your life, but moments like that, they don't last forever, and it was
That's
a
right.
time of your life that shaped who you needed to be for the next chapter. And
Right.
those people, your uncle and your grandmother, they were a huge role in your life, and now that you know now they're your guides. They're in the spirit realm to help guide you into the next chapter of your life. And I think, that's what you need from them now, is that they're guiding you in the spirit realm as you become this new person.
Right.
And instead of being sad, when they're
right.
in a better place, they're fine, they're happy, they have no
Right.
problems where they're at. They're in the better place than we are. So so they're
Oh yeah.
fine. And now we just have to move on and live the best that life that we can live while we're here on earth. And
That's right.
yeah,
Can't get stuck.
no, you can't get stuck, because it's just it's part of life. We're here on this journey on earth, and everything has a season, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Everything has a season, and now you're in a new season with them guiding you, and they taught you what you needed to learn while they were on earth. And now it's your job to fulfill a life of, let's say, your life of purpose. It's now time for you to fulfill your purpose Um, I don't know.
I got you. You're right. 100%. 100%.
That's amazing though, that 97, your grandmother, I wish I grew up with my grandmother. I didn't have that opportunity. I have very little memory of my grandmother, but
Oh, yeah.
I know that spiritually she is supporting me. You know, I've had moments where I've felt her presence even though I didn't know her, but
Mm,
I spiritually, I know like she's in the spirit realm, watching over me.
absolutely. No doubt. No doubt. And they
And
are.
and
They
and
are.
for, I grew up in a Christian home, so like whenever I mentioned that to my family, it wasn't really like received very well. But, I know what's in my heart and I know what's going on, with my relationship with God and my spiritual journey. And I had a very close connection with my grandmother when I was going through my spiritual journey, like, over a
Mhm.
year ago. And, she's been passed away for a long time now, for a few years. But
Yeah.
spiritually, like she's so close to me.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's part of you. It's just, that's true. So true.
Yeah. So it's been such an exciting year for the both of us. We've both kind of like changed a lot. I think we've both learned to be more present and to really see um what we really, I think we both really our eyes have opened up to see what is really truly important. I guess that's why we're both kind of like said goodbye to the photography industry. As much as we were so passionate about it, that's an old chapter in our life. And
Yeah.
we're here now. I'm pursuing this other career, or not really career, it's just a lifestyle of, wanting to be authentically me and just live this life of true joy and happiness every single day, whatever it looks like, just
Yep.
pursuing what brings me joy. And as much as I loved photography at that
Absolutely.
time, it was also a very stressful time because it took a lot of energy to run a photography business.
It
And
does. It does. Yeah.
and I love how you shared that, with music, you just want to share what brings you joy and what makes you happy, and you just want a happy life. So, for a lot of people who are trying to get into the music industry, it's stressful when they're trying to compete with other people, but you're not in it, you know, to compete. You're just going to pursue what you love, and then the doors are just going to open. You're just trusting that God is going to open the right doors for
Right.
you without having to sacrifice yourself to get
Oh,
out
yeah.
there, to be out there, to be seen and to be heard.
Yeah. I believe that too. And I think that's where a lot of times you can have the most success is like just, do your thing, do your thing.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, wow, that was too easy. The door opened, you know,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, and for me musically, I just, anyone who hears, I hope I have something that somebody will want to hear, and take them on a journey musically, and that would make me happy.
I like the
So
quote,
we're gonna,
you are the musician that someone has been waiting for. You don't know that there may be people out there who is waiting to hear someone like you to share a message through your music. You know, your job is just
right,
to pursue the passions that God has given you, and use the talents that God has given you, and the rest is God's job. Whatever result comes from you putting yourself out there, that's God's job. You just do your thing, enjoy your music, be happy, share, you know, share joy, raise the frequency of the collective, just raise the vibrations.
Yeah.
That's your job. The rest is up to God. So yeah, just do your thing. Share your music, because you just don't know how many people that you might be impacting. You don't know how many people who are out there waiting for the lyrics of that song that you just wrote. You
Yeah.
don't know how impactful that your music might be, and you won't know until
Yeah.
you share it. And I'm so glad that you are putting yourself out there, and that you are taking that bold step and
Yeah. I've been
sharing your music.
encouraging all this time, because I'll tell you, it was, you know, when you lay something down for a while, it takes a while to get it back. It does. You're
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know if I could. Then all of a sudden it starts coming back, and you got to, you just keep at it, and it starts coming back to you, and you got to focus on it. Because, because it is my passion. It really is. It really is. Like, it just is, because
Yeah.
when you just feel those emotions, and also what I was going to say, a little side note, is I got to thinking, some of these songs that I've written back years ago, in my 30s and my 20s, some of them, is the way the world is today, and the way social media is today, and the way things are today. Sometimes the time is right now. You did something back then, art, musically or whatever, and it might not have been received as well. And today it's like, oh yes, we want that. That's awesome. That's amazing. Because the frequency is different today than it was then.
Yeah.
I've thought
Yeah.
that a lot. Because some folks, you can play something in church several years ago, and they're going to look at you like, need to get that guy out of my church, And today it's like, yeah, good music, But anyways, that's a little side
Timing.
note. But
The timing.
it's
It's
all
all
about
about
timing,
timing. Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's all about timing. God gave you that download 20 years ago, but it it needed to marinate a little bit. You needed to marinate a little bit, and you needed to become who you are today, so you could share it, and as who you are now, because your story has evolved since the time that you have written a lot of these songs. And
Yeah.
for me, it's crazy, because like I have all these songs that I've had since high school, right, that I gravitated towards. And as an adult going through my spiritual
Mm-hmm.
journey, I hear these songs again, and I'm crying. And I'm like, these songs that I have heard my whole life, all of a sudden it hits me. Like, I hear the lyrics, and it is, and I resonate with it in such a deep level. And to me, I'm like, it's God speaking to me this whole time since I was a teenager. But I never understood the message until now, hearing the song again.
Right.
It's just crazy how that
Absolutely.
works,
Yeah, it
because
is.
I'm a
And
completely different person than I was 20 years ago when I first heard these songs. So the music that I have known my whole life, it's just like, wow, like that music was for me this whole time. All this music that
yeah,
repeats over and over in my head, and it, like, when the lyrics finally click, I'm like, oh my gosh, this whole time that music was for me, to encourage me, to push me to keep going, and to help me through my journey, trying to figure out who I am and who I am in Christ. It's crazy. So yeah, you don't know, like,
absolutely, absolutely. And
the music that you wrote 20 years ago is now going to be affecting people who today, who are, who wasn't even born then.
right, exactly. And to be honest, I don't write a lot of gospel music now. I don't. A lot of all these Christian songs that I have, were from back when, and some of them are from the mid 2000s, you know, as well. Some of the newer ones, but today, most of my songs are, country,
Mm-hmm.
country and nature, country love song, rock. Back in the day, I'll tell you this a little bit about music, and you probably know this, but back in the day, there were some artists that would cross over. They would sing contemporary Christian, and they would also have a song that was, are they singing about God? Or are they singing about their husband
Yeah.
or wife or girlfriend or whatever? And oh my God, church folks, I'm gonna say it, they would come unglued back in the day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, they gotta choose. They gotta choose. And
But
me,
you know what?
I'm gonna write what
Switchfoot is one of those that actually I have in mind. The one I was talking about. Switchfoot. Have you heard of them? Well, when I was in high school, Switchfoot was big for me. And, they're contemporary Christian rock. And, sometimes you're like, what are they singing about? Is it about God? But, oh my gosh, I look back at those songs and I'm like, those are my spiritual awakening songs right now.
Yeah.
Like I resonate so much with their songs right now. And I was listening to it in high school, and I loved them in high school. But now it's just like their songs are so much more meaningful now, today, for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
absolutely.
and they're and I'm grateful for them because it's about God, but it's not like it's not for church, but I don't know, but it's still about God, and I feel like God is not just in church. So it's really
absolutely
perfect music for me to listen to every day.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. And I love good music. I mean, if it's a good song, I like it, whether it's pop, rock, whatever, country, whatever the case, gospel, I don't, there's some gospel music I don't listen to because I don't like it. What they're singing about don't make sense.
Yeah.
And there's some that are amazing. It's like, yes, so whatever, if it's a good song, good beat, good feel, and makes me feel great and awesome, and I tend to not listen to a lot of negative music anyways, but whether it's, you know what I mean, all genres, if it's a good song, I like it, to me, if it's a good, anyways, I'm just going to sing and write, what comes to me.
Yeah.
And, because, think about it for a second. I mean, a song that's, singing about something positive, a beautiful day, an awesome relationship, a beautiful relationship, just happy, good times. To me, that's a God song.
Yeah.
To me.
Anything that makes you feel joy, that makes you feel love, that makes you feel happiness, that's from God. That's that's the qualities of God is joy, happiness. And if you are listening to music that give you those feelings, then it's just because it's not a hymn and not sang in the church, it doesn't mean it's not from God. And I think that is the the message that a lot of the churches are saying, that if it's not approved by the church, then it's not of God, which is not true.
Right. Absolutely agree. I agree with you 100%. And there you go.
So before we go, can you please share your music? Sing us something.
Okay. Let's see here.
Get your guitar.
If I mess up, maybe you can edit this out. Let's see here. Don't
forget to add your reverb.
Let's see here. Oh yeah. Let's turn it up some. Like a lot of people, Elvis Presley, like when I was a kid, just that's all, we listened to a lot. And it impacted my life. It's like that whole charisma, and he sang rock and roll, and he sang just gospel, you know, and
Yeah.
he did both, and it's just awesome. Let's see if I can do this without messing. Maybe you can edit this out. Maybe you can splice this in. I'll sing some of this. Let me see if I can remember. Let's see. Love will never change. I'll do the best I can. All right, here we go. Like sunshine in the morning, like after a spring rain. Lord, your love is amazing. Oh, it always stays the same. Like the birth of a newborn baby. Oh God, your love is brand new. And Lord, your love is amazing. Oh, it always stays the same. Your love will never change. Oh, it always stays the same. Day after day, you're where my heart will always stay. And Lord, you always draw so close. Lord, when I need you most, oh, your love will never change. Like the colors of the rainbow. Oh God, your love is so true. And like the stars in the heavens, you will always be. And like the fragrance of spring flowers, oh God, you're the giver of life. And Lord, your love is amazing. Oh, it always stays the same. Your love will never change. Oh, it always stays the same. Day after day, you're where my heart will always stay. And Lord, you always draw so close. Lord, when I need you most, oh, your love will never change. And Lord, you always draw so close. Lord, when I need you most, oh, your love will never change.
Woo!
Thank you very much. I need to change the key. That's hard to sing in that key, but that's the one I wrote it in. So
Yeah, that's great.
Well, thank you. My
It's
voice is,
beautiful.
well, thanks. And I can do a lot better on it. And I will. But yeah, I really wanted to. I went in there and I'm like, oh, let me practice that just a second. It'll come out. But I wrote that
No,
song a long, long time ago. Long time ago.
yeah, it's so beautiful, and you really need to get that out. I think that is
Will.
a song that needs to be shared because it's so beautiful. Your voice is so good. It's you got a nice, like, deep voice. You have to totally post that like ASAP.
I will. I will. That's one of my priorities. It really is. And to get done. I was listening to that the other day. I have it actually recorded with a full band, from years ago when I had, a recording studio.
Yeah.
And I need to change keys, which I am. And it's going to be amazing. It really is. And that's one of those songs lyrically, it just, come out, just
Yeah.
come, and there we are. But that's old. Golly, I wrote that probably when I was 25, something like that.
Oh wow, 25, still baby.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And my dad loves that song. He's like, "Oh, you got to get that song out. That's so good." And but there's a bunch of others, bunch of other songs, bunch of country praise and worship songs on it. I've got like 3 CDs, and some of them are recorded okay, and some of them, it's like, at least I have them recorded,
Yeah.
But with the new technology today, um, they're going to sound amazing, with the new tech. And I'm not afraid to use the new technology, to where we do the AI music. But that's my song. AI didn't even write the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
music, because they make it, professional, like it needs to be. Because I like things to be good. I'm a perfectionist, But I'm working on it. I've laid the guitar down a long time, and it's all coming back. It's like, oh yeah,
It's
and
time. This is your time. It's
it
your
is.
time, Patrick.
It is. I
It's
believe
your
so.
time.
And yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. Any support like that I can get. And of course, my mom, my dad, any time my mom was like so excited. Tomorrow's her birthday actually, and we went.
Oh, happy
to their house.
birthday, Mom.
Thank you. I'll let her know. Yeah, we went. I was at their house tonight, and we were celebrating her birthday. My mom's 79 and my dad's 79.
Wow, that's amazing.
December and January is their birthdays. So, anytime my mom's like, "Oh, you're going to be singing again." Oh, okay, awesome. Oh, yes, 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 yes. I mean, they're just all fired up all the time.
That's amazing. That is so good to have. And you're so blessed to have parents that are very supportive of you.
Oh,
And
yeah.
yeah, because you need to have that support sometimes when, especially the times when you're doubting yourself and you don't believe in yourself. You need people to hype you up that believe in you.
Well, yeah, absolutely. And I have two of the greatest parents in the world, and they've always supported me and believed in me, anything I've ever done, and still
That's amazing.
do to this day. And
All right, so before we leave, I want you to share something that you think that your younger self would need to hear right now. I would like for you to be able, let's pretend that you are talking to your younger self right now. Your younger self is listening to you. They are listening to this podcast and they want to hear what you feel that they need to hear right now.
well, I would tell my younger self that you are not a loser. You're a winner. You're a champion. If I had time to go into my story, you would understand how significant this is. If
If you need to share it, go ahead and share it.
well, it boils down to religion, believing a lie, thinking that, you're going to go to hell, all those things, that you're not worth anything. You're just an old sinner. Devil's going to get you.
I understand completely.
Believing a lot of negative lies,
Yeah.
thinking that I had sinned against God. When I was 4, I got real depressed for a while, 13, 14 years old, real depressed because I thought I was going to hell, honestly. No lie, I'm telling you the God's honest truth.
No, I understand. I was there at 14, exactly. I remember writing in my diary feeling depressed and suicidal because I thought I also was not worthy of forgiveness and not worthy to be saved and go to heaven with Jesus.
Right. And it's horrible. It's horrible to believe that because as a child, your impression, you are, the impressions people make on you, the things they say to you as a child, you believe it. You believed it, especially coming from the preacher. And I thought I'd sinned against God, that I would never be forgiven ever, that I was doomed to hell and there's no stopping it. And I got real depressed over it, and then just bad thinking, negative thoughts, and things like that. And, and finally, I told my mom and dad about it one night. And they said, "Oh my gosh, Patrick, no, that's not true. God loves you, and that's a lie. You're not going to hell. You haven't sinned against God to the point of, just having, when you can, just have negative thoughts and just have negative thoughts about God, about this, about that, because you don't understand. You're young."
Mm-hmm.
And it really got me down. And when I really learned, I finally got enough nerve to talk to my parents about it, and they told, "No, you didn't, boy." It was like a 10,000-pound elephant lifted off my shoulders, just to know that. So I would tell my younger self you are a winner. You're a champion. You are somebody. You are an amazing guy. You are handsome. You're a young, handsome, good looking young guy. And that I would tell my younger self to not use credit cards, not run up so much debt you can't pay it.
Yes, that's a good one.
Stay out of debt, work. And that's what I would tell my younger self. And I would also tell my younger self to, value yourself so that you don't fall for just anyone who says, "Oh, I like you." Oh, because you're so needing love and attention,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't value yourself enough. It's like, you know what? I don't need to be with you. I value me. You're the kind of person I need to be with, for example. Thanks, but no thanks.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I am. I'm somebody as a person. I know what I want, what kind of values I want, and things like that. And that's some of the things, and I would say keep playing the guitar. Don't quit. Don't stop. Don't stop. Keep going. Because when I was younger, when I was in a music and band, I chased it like crazy. I mean, I chased it. I was going to make it. That was way before photography, but did a lot of cool things. But anyways, that's what really I would tell my younger self is don't believe the lies of religion. Don't believe the lies of religion. And God is love. And God's full of grace and mercy. Just God is love. The real God is love. The real God is love and energy. And the real God is amazing, and that's what I would tell them. That's just some of the things.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no, that's great. I think that's good. I also have been through my own, religious trauma growing up, and I wish there was a lot of things that I would have known then that I know now, and my value would have been much higher if I had known what I know now. And, but that's part of our journey, right?
Absolutely. And you mature, you grow, you learn. Mm-hmm. I remember times at a certain church, not having gas money to get there. Sometimes not having much money, but the preacher would be, wearing a Rolex, passing it around to look at how blessed he is. Don't ask me for prayer if you don't give, and you don't this and you don't that. Don't ask me for any prayer. Just feeling humiliated,
Yeah.
And really they were the ones taking everybody for their money.
Yeah.
That's another story I'm getting out. But the point I'm making is Don't believe a bunch of lies.
Mm-hmm.
Don't believe a bunch of lies.
Yeah.
Work hard, do what you need to do in life, working hard, being positive, and also having gratitude, thankfulness, surrounding yourself with your answer, whatever your answer is, whether it's joy, happiness, love, friendship, whatever that is. I believe in feeling those emotions, and not as if, I need, but be as if you have it. And of course, the Bible speaks, call things that are not as though they were. Well, I'm thinking things that are not as though they are. I feel it. You feel that happiness, that joy of, if you need money, whatever the case may be, healing, physical things, feel the emotions of how it feels to not hurt, to not need certain things, and it will come to you. I've seen it happen. I've seen it happen many times. And people who don't believe that, fine, you don't have to. But it's prayer. People look at you like, oh, man, good things happen to you all the time. Yeah, that's right. They do. You're absolutely right. They do. Everything works out for me. That's right.
It's a choice. It's a choice right here in your mind.
Yeah.
It all starts in the mind, and that's something that I've learned, since I've rewired my brain and my I've changed my old way of thinking, and my life has been great. I'm happy, genuinely happy every single day, and even days that I don't feel good, I choose to believe that I'm still going to be happy.
Right.
I'm still going to have a great day no matter what the external looks like.
Right.
I choose happiness. And it's genuinely, I'm happy every single day. And my life didn't turn out exactly how I wished it did in the past, and I'm so grateful that it didn't work out like I had wanted, because past me did not know what she was talking about. Past me did not know what real happiness was.
Right.
And now that I'm living it, I'm like, this is peace, peace that I will never get, I will never sacrifice. I'm keeping this peace and happiness that I have now.
That's right. And as you should, because I can say, me personally, because I've known you a while, just from when we did that photo shoot down at Hurricane Creek Park. I hadn't seen it in a while. We went and did that photo shoot. And I could tell at that time, I could tell like you had a lot of things on your mind. I could just tell. Mm-hmm. And then I was growing myself. I was new and, into learning God energy. And, I was angry about some things myself, why this, why that. But I can just see how you have transformed. I really can. Just you don't even look like the same person. You look younger now than you did then, and of course you're fit and all smiley and all that. You're just like in your countenance. I can just tell because I tell you, it's like I see like this. It's like this happiness on you. Mm-hmm. And I can tell, and it makes all the difference in the world, and I think that about you. It's like, when I see some of your podcasts and things like that, there are people I think that will gravitate to your videos and to what you're saying just because they see the joy on you. And people are like, oh, I love that. I love to watch her videos because it makes me happy to watch her videos because she's always happy and joyous and going here, going there, seeing this, seeing that, and people need that. They need that. They need to see you bring people joy by you having joy. I think.
Yeah.
You
Because
know,
joy and happiness is infectious, which every emotion is infectious. And if I'm going to spread any emotion out there, it's going to be joy and happiness and positivity.
that's right. That's right. And then I tossed an idea to you. I'm like, I know you like to eat real healthy and everything. I thought, man, she should do a podcast just cooking some kind of healthy thing and just this happy, bright, happy little meal, whether it's something, and this is, what I mean today, I mean, it just, I could just see that and I would totally watch it. It was like, oh yeah, that looks delicious. I'm thinking in my head already. I'm thinking how.
You've already seen a vision of my future.
That's right. Yeah, I see it. I honestly do. That way, it's like you cover all aspects. You're talking about. And this is the way I perceive. You're talking about health and wellness. You know, sharing some things of where you come from, where you are now, and just how to maintain where you are now as a person is on this level of happiness. From food to meditating to just kind of in my mind's eye I see that only but in my mind's eye I see that just and then people I just see people just gravitating to that and you just never I feel like one day I'm like, you know what, I know her. I know her. I know her. I've took her picture before, and and the thing about it is, it's like people's like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do in this world? What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Well, what do you do? What comes easy for you? What do you just naturally? And I'm talking about positive things here. What do you gravitate to? What you just do with no effort? I'll just be myself. Or whatever, music or you painting or or just taking a walk on the beach and I don't know, what, because it's little things that make all the difference. Just little things that you don't even realize touches somebody. And I always say, wherever you bloom, wherever you're planted, wherever you are, that's where you're at.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
That's right.
And just enjoy your life, And there's a lot of places I want to go and see. Anyways, I'm just rambling now.
But that's totally my goal, is just to bloom where I'm planted, just be happy, and then share my happiness and help others through my journey. And so, Patrick, thank you so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate you spending your time. It is so late over there in Alabama. For me, it's only just about to be 7 p.m. But for you, it's 2 a.m.
Wow.
And I really appreciate you just taking your time to share your story. And I know that someone who is listening is going to get something out of it. And I know that your music is going to be touching a lot of lives, and I can't wait to hear what you put out there. And I'm just so happy to be your friend, and I'm so grateful for you, for your encouragement that you give me all the time. And I really appreciate you. You have no idea. I appreciate our friendship so much, and I'm just like looking forward to seeing where God takes you in this life of yours and your music venture. This is your time. You've had years and years of experience and with your music, and in the music industry in general, you've been a part of a band, you've been a soloist, and now you're starting over and starting fresh, but you're starting as someone with experience and someone, you know, who has like a more, like it's more of your story. Like there's more to your story now. Like, you know, back then in your 20s and your 30s and your 40s, you know, you're just learning, but now you're just a completely new person, and you're going to be sharing to the world your music through a different set of eyes, and with all this knowledge and wisdom that you have gained through the years, you know, it's not going to be the same anymore. It's going to be better. And I'm just so excited for you.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you having me on. We'll have to do this again. We got a lot much more to talk about.
For sure. For sure. We have a lot to talk about. Thank you,
So,
Patrick.
all right. Talk to you
Thank you
later.
so much.
See ya.